Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is running into critical short-term support after just rejecting from overbought territories, while the price is potentially forming a new pattern on the larger timeframes. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum, which is now running into critical short-term support, alongside Solana, also running into short-term support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in this video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, we need to take a look at the Bitcoin ETF news today, because just on Monday, we actually saw a decent sized net outflow, which was bearish for Bitcoin. And so on Monday, we ended up seeing a net outflow coming out of the Bitcoin ETFs of around $223.8 million US. And so once again, this is effectively the amount of money coming out of the Bitcoin ETFs, which essentially means coming out of Bitcoin, because they're having to sell spot Bitcoin to pay out that money in US dollars to the investors that are selling their ETF shares. And as always, basically the entire outflow was caused by Grayscale. Once again, GBTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, had an outflow on Monday of over $300 million US. And so this was worse than average for Grayscale. Their average day is an outflow of around $263 million. And so once again, on Monday, they saw an outflow of over $300 million. And when you combine that with the fact that we actually saw very small inflows into the other ETFs, for example, the BlackRock ETF only had an inflow of around 20 million, the Fidelity ETF only had an inflow of around 6 million, which are very small numbers for those ETFs. Once again, we're left with a net outflow at the end of the day with those small inflows and that large outflow from Grayscale. We're left with a net outflow, all things considered, of over $220 million US. And now you might be wondering, how much Bitcoin does Grayscale actually have left, considering they've overall had an outflow of over $15 billion US, leaving the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust since that ETF actually launched. And well, if we're taking a look at the Grayscale holdings on chain, we can see that as of right now, Grayscale is still holding roughly around 330,000 Bitcoin, worth over $22 billion US. And so at the current rate of the outflows coming out of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, within a couple of months from now, around 2 to 3 months from now, Grayscale will basically be completely out of Bitcoin. And in case you're new to all of this, one of the main reasons as to why so much Bitcoin is leaving Grayscale, being sold out of Grayscale, is simply due to the fact that Grayscale's fee on their Bitcoin ETF is so much higher compared to any other Bitcoin ETF fee. So they're simply charging massive fees on this Bitcoin. And so that's basically forcing everyone that's holding this Bitcoin under the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF to simply exit Grayscale, because their fee is way too high. And because the Grayscale ETF is a cash create ETF, if you're wanting to exit the Grayscale ETF, they have to pay out in US dollars, which means dumping that Bitcoin that's backing the ETF to pay out in US dollars. And so that is why when we see these outflows coming out of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, that is considered selling pressure, that's considered bearish for Bitcoin. But mainly if it's a net outflow, mainly if we're seeing bigger outflows than inflows. And so potentially one of the main reasons as to why we saw that pullback over the last one day, even though we were starting to break out to the upside, one of the main reasons is simply due to these outflows from Grayscale. But once again, as I said earlier, these outflows are ultimately temporary, because even though they're still holding a lot of Bitcoin, it's still a limited amount of Bitcoin. So if the outflows continue every single weekday, soon enough, they will eventually run out of Bitcoin and go out of business. And with that being said, getting into the Bitcoin charts today, this is on the weekly time frame, and honestly, not much has changed on this chart over the last one day. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this chart, then check out my last video here on the channel. And something similar can be said about this chart right here as well. Looking at the DXY, we're still seeing a slight pullback in the DXY here in the short term, which is technically bullish for Bitcoin. So overall, we're currently looking more bullish than bearish, especially on the larger timeframes. But as I always say, even during a larger bullish trend, we can see short-term pullbacks here and there. In fact, that's very normal to see even during a bullish market. And now if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, obviously just yesterday we started to see that breakout to the upside, and we did actually see a daily candle close confirm just above this line of resistance, which was sitting at around 70.7k. And so technically speaking, that was one confirmation signal for the breakout to the upside. So not a lot of confirmation, but it was some confirmation of the breakout. But obviously at the time of recording this video, we're already starting to break back inside the pattern. And if this daily candle close confirms back below this line right here, which as of recording this video is looking likely going to happen, then essentially that would invalidate this breakout just for this line of resistance right here, which would invalidate this symmetrical triangle pattern. But we could potentially be forming an ascending triangle pattern here on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. Because as of right now, that ascending line of support is still currently a valid line of support to pay attention to. And as for resistance, we have more of a horizontal area of resistance sitting in between around 71,500 to around 73,500. And so as of right now, we could actually bounce around a little longer in this range right here in between that support, which by the way is sitting at around 66,500 and this area of resistance. But statistically speaking, an ascending triangle pattern does actually break out to the upside more often than it breaks to the downside. Now, it's not impossible to see a break to the downside. That can actually happen. It's just that is a less likely scenario compared to a breakout to the upside, statistically speaking, when we're talking about an ascending triangle pattern. And so with that in mind, when it comes to my personal trading strategy, as always, this is not personal financial advice for you because I don't know your personal financial situation, but my trading strategy right now, I am actually continuing to scale into a small long position at the moment, simply due to this new pattern right here potentially forming, especially if we bounce from this support. I would potentially add to that position if we see a strong bounce forming another higher low, because that is still bullish price structure. And once again, as of right now, it's a relatively small position, so I can handle the price going down a lot further. And essentially, if we do end up seeing a continued short-term pullback, I'll just slowly add to that position, which will slowly decrease my entry price. And then ultimately, if we end up seeing a bounce or some sort of recovery in the short term, that is where I'll profit from this trade. Whether we bounce here or bounce at a lower price, either way, I will profit once we eventually see some sort of bounce. But once again, that's just my trading strategy at the moment, not personal financial advice. Usually when I'm talking about my trades, I'm talking about breakout trades once we confirm a breakout. And so ultimately, if we're looking for stronger confirmation, ideally we just need to break out above that all-time high level, which is sitting at around 73,500 to 74,000 in order to be much more confident that we're really breaking out in the bullish direction. And if that happens, if we fully confirm a breakout above that all-time high level and ideally flip the older all-time high into new supports by bouncing from that level, then looking at the technical price target to the upside for this ascending triangle pattern, that would set up a price target at just underneath $90,000 at around 89,000. And so from the point of the breakout at roughly around 73,500 to 74,000 to that price target at around 89,000, that's roughly around a 21% gain if we complete the pattern after first confirming a breakout above the all-time high. And so once again, right now we're still just consolidating sideways underneath the all-time high level, which is historically bullish when we're talking about previous bullish markets. And so once again, this is very normal price action to see. We usually see these consolidations and these struggles around the all-time high breakout levels. But ultimately, if we're looking at history, we usually end up seeing a continued move further to the upside within the next few weeks and months. And if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take trades just like that over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can enter an exclusive Apple Watch Series 9 giveaway just by trading crypto on Bitflex. And by the way, this ends very soon. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well get set up or ready to go on one of those exchanges using those links down below this video if you want to get those extra bonuses. And with that being said, zooming into the short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, right now the price is actually running into critical short-term support where we have previously found important support and resistance. And this is an area in between around 68,000 to 69,000, which is something that I mentioned in my last video. And now, what if we actually see a confirmed break below 68,000? And well, in that case, if we confirm a break below 68k, then we could potentially drop back down towards around 66,000 to 65,000 as the next area of support. But if we now bounce from this area right here, the next resistance to pay attention to is sitting at around 71,500. And above that, we have this area sitting in between around 73 to 74k, which we have just rejected from over the last one day. And we also kind of rejected from overbought territories here on the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. As we can see, we entered into overbought territories just recently, similar to what we saw back here near the end of March. And as usual, when the RSI enters into overbought territories, that's basically a signal telling us that at least in the short term, we're approaching a somewhat upwards limit. And so basically this type of signal tells us that we're due to see some sort of short-term cool-off sometime soon before potentially continuing the bullish trend later on after first resetting the RSI. And if we're taking a look at the 2-hour time frame, obviously, as I said, over the last few days, we already saw this short-term breakout from this ascending triangle pattern on the 2-hour time frame. And of course, that pattern already completed. We already hit that technical price target. So this is just another example that I shared recently on the channel of a successful breakout to the upside. Obviously, this was a trading opportunity where you could potentially enter a long position around the breakout and take profits around the price target. But obviously, considering we already hit that 72k price target, this pattern is already complete here on the 2-hour time frame. It's no longer playing out. But funnily enough, over the last one day, we've actually formed a classic Burj Al Arab pattern where we've gone straight to the upside and then slowly back to the downside. And even though this is a bit of a meme pattern, to be honest, it is actually quite a common price structure here in the price of Bitcoin. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see over the last one day, we saw that short-term pullback mainly caused by those outflows from the ETFs. Once again, mainly the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. And so we did take out a little bit of downside liquidity, but what's very interesting is we have more downside liquidity starting to show up at around 65,000. And so just keep that in mind, 65k could be an important level to pay attention to if we see a further pullback here. But we still have some important resistance at around 73,000, give or take. And if we're zooming out to a larger time frame, looking at the last 1 month worth of price action, we can see a much larger amount of liquidity sitting at around 74,000. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, we're still currently trading right around that golden pocket, sitting in between around 3.4k to 3.5k. And so for as long as the price is still trading in that price range or above that price range, we're still looking good here on the weekly time frame. And especially in terms of the larger trend at play, we're still clearly in a bullish trend on the weekly chart, forming significant higher lows and higher highs. And the next significant resistance to the upside on the weekly time frame is still sitting at around 4.1k. And if we're zooming into the short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, obviously over the last one day, just like Bitcoin, we saw Ethereum also pull back. And basically, the moment we confirmed a break back below this level right here, which was sitting at around 3650, basically the moment we pull back below that level, as I mentioned recently on the channel, we were due to see a pullback down to this next area of support, sitting in between around 3470, going up towards around 3530. And so at least for now, that's the area of support to pay attention to. And now if we actually see a confirmed break back below around 3470, then in that case, honestly, we could potentially pull back down to around 3370. And below that, we have much more support at around 3250. And as for short-term resistance, if we see a bit of a bounce here, a level of resistance to look out for is of course this level right here, sitting at around 3650, and above that we have this price range acting as resistance in between around 3740 to 3.8k. And we also have a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern forming right here, as we can see a possible left shoulder, a possible head, and right now we could potentially be forming a right shoulder if we bounce here over the next few days. And if we're taking a look at this 3-hour time frame, as I mentioned in my last video here on the channel, we were beginning to enter into overbought territories. So as I always say, when we enter into overbought territories here in the RSI, that's telling us that we're kind of reaching our upside limit, at least in the short term. And so once again, we were due to see a bit of a short-term cool off to help reset the RSI back to the downside, which has now played out. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the 4-hour time frame, right now we've seen that further rejection again from this line of resistance that I've been talking about here on the channel. Once again, that line of resistance is sitting at around 183. And as for short-term support, we are once again running into this critical area of support, sitting in between around 167 to 172. And so those are the levels to watch out for as of right now. And at least for now, we're still currently kind of in a pullback phase in the market, potentially starting to look a little bit more neutral rather than overly bearish. But ultimately for Solana here in the short term, we would only start to flip much more bullish again once we actually see a confirmed breakout above this line right here, acting as resistance. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.